come to me door no more. Kill them when you hear me sing. Fire up the blood, purify everything, yes. Kill them when you hear me roar. Babylon come to me door no more.
The Hudson's Bay Company, what would they sell here, do you think? Not pelts, nobody wanted pelts in this club.
Opium.
Not opium. Opium came later on different route. No, we're still in the 1820s. What would they sell here?
Cattle, food supply.
Sandalwood they sold to China. Food supply, yeah, salmon. What else? Shovels, picks, men's clothing, ladies' dresses, boots, etc. Tarpaulin, all this kind of thing. Honolulu at that time, while it was a village, was also a entrepôt, which is a French word, and what does that mean? Entrepôt. It was an open harbor, open to everyone. That was a great strength. Any nationality could freely settle here. No visa, no passports. You could just come and open shop. Not too much later, the Germans will do that. And Honolulu, in a way, is almost a German town. We have, in the 1840s, we already have, 1850s, we have more than 13 German companies here. And the biggest of the big five is German. What's its name? Later Amfag, but originally Heinrich Hackfeld and Company with a subsidiary in Bremen, right? So, but the first to establish themselves on a big scale are the people of the Hudson's Bay Company. So, now, it was in the interest of all the merchants here to continue the status of independence of Hawaii. For that reason, because it was an open port, like later, in a way, Hong Kong. So it was a kind of nascent Hong Kong of the Pacific. That's why Simpson supported this delegation to France and England. Now, very interestingly, the three commissioners or diplomats chose different routes. Alilio and Richards, on July 18th of 1842, sailed to Acapulco, and from there, do you have any idea how they proceeded from Acapulco? On mule, overland, the isthmus, where we have the canal today, more or less, on the so-called Mazatlan route to Veracruz, on the Atlantic side of Mexico, and then they took a ship and sailed to the US East Coast, traveled to Washington, D.C., and conferred with President, who was US President at that time, 1842, John Tyler, and his Secretary of State, everybody knows him because of the dictionary, Daniel Webster. How do you think they were received in Washington? Not very well. They listened, they said, yeah, this is all very interesting. Yes, we acknowledge that you're independent, but we don't want to put it to paper. When does truly equal relationship begin with the US and Hawaii?
Oh.
No, it did.
Never.
It did. 1849. There's a friendship treaty which grants full privileges.
That was against the 1843 treaty between the Anglo and French.
Yeah, but the point is there is a friendship treaty of 1849 ratified in 1850, and that's really the basic document between the US and Hawaii. That's the document. And it allows, and this is very interesting, it allows Hawaiian citizens or subjects to settle freely in the US and US citizens to settle freely in the kingdom. That's very interesting. Already so early. Okay, so, but other than oral guarantees, they don't get anything in writing. So then they go on to London. Now what about Simpson? Why didn't he go along with them? Well, here we have to know something about the relationship between British North America, or now Canada, and the US. in the 1840s, the border was fixed along the Great Lakes, but it had not been fixed yet on the northwest coast. And so there was tension. And as a British citizen, it was not very wise for Simpson to set foot upon American soil. So where did he go?
Russia.
Yes, Russia. This is most amazing. He could have gone around the Horn, but that's very dangerous. So he went to Russia. First to Russian America, which today we call Alaska. So he went to Sitka. And from Sitka, he took a ship by the name of Okhotsk, to Okhotsk, which is on the Pacific coast of Siberia. Okhotsk. And then what? From Okhotsk, he traveled across Siberia and eventually all of Russia. What? 1842? Long before the Trans-Siberian Railroad was built. So how did he do it, do you think? You know, Russia is the largest country in the world. It comprises 11 time zones. 11. US 3. The contiguous states. 11 time zones. How do you think he did it? No, long before the railroad. Horseback, then on the river Lena, which is one of those Siberian rivers flowing to the northwest, and then by carriage. It was roughing it, but at the same time the Russians had set up mail posts every 24 hours. There were provincial governors, and since he was a diplomat, he was wined and dined by the Russians. So on one hand it was very rugged, on the other hand it was very elegant at the same time, like War and Peace, exactly like that. So he went from Okhotsk to Yakutsk. Now we should have a map to really show what it means. Then to Irkutsk, which is near Lake Baikal, of which I'm sure you heard. Then to Tomsk, Krasnoyarsk, Tobolsk, where the Tsar was imprisoned with his family after the revolution. Yekaterinburg, where he was shot to death by the communists. Then to European Russia, namely Perm, Kazan, that's the Mongol capital. Kazan, Vladimir, Moscow, Veliki Novgorod, or Great Novgorod, and finally to St. Petersburg, the capital. And there he took a ship by the name of Nikolai, after Tsar Nicholas I, to Hamburg, and finally to London, and ultimately arrived there in October 1842, and he had been on the road for half a year, beginning with Honolulu. Now, when he finally arrived, and he arrived before the other two arrived, Simpson first met with Sir John H. Pelly, who was the head of the Hudson House. So that's the mother company in London, and with other leaders of the Hudson's Bay Company. Finally, in February 1843, so several months later, alilio and Richards arrived. And then the trio conversed with top officials of the Foreign Office of Great Britain and then left for Brussels, capital of the Kingdom of Belgium. Well, why would they do that? Brussels, Belgium?